Today's topic is very important. Guard your energy. Do you know people that are always unhappy, complaining, whining, or even angry? If you don't, I'm sure you have seen some of their comments on social media. I've seen reviews on Amazon or comments on YouTube that literally blew my socks off. Paragraphs after paragraphs, people writing their life away, complaining how a book that they read wasn't what they expected, how the blender they received wasn't as good as promised. Some of the reviews even criticized the person who posted the content, like on YouTube. And it's always amazing to me how mean people can get, how much anger they can let out, and how they really get into it. Are you one of those people? If so, then this episode is for you. I'm sure you've had days where you were drained at the end of the day, both physically and emotionally, or maybe just either one. Depletion of physical energy is easily understood by most people. You're using your body and the muscles in your body, which get tired after some time. You may sweat a lot, or maybe you're just hurting. Your heart rate is up. It's all visible signs that you're using up your physical energy. But have you considered that you also have a limited amount of mental energy? Your mental energy is the power of your mind. You need it to make good decisions, to solve problems, and to think complex issues through. However, most people don't realize it's a finite resource, meaning you don't have endless amounts of it. And especially as the day goes on, it decreases. Usually you wake up fresh, and in the morning is when your mental energy is high. After you wake up, and for some people after they had their first cup of coffee. But it decreases as the day goes on. I don't know about you, but when I'm aware of something that's having a limit, I'm usually very careful about using it and spending it. So for me, when I come home from work, it's very hard for me to work on anything that requires a lot of thinking. I'm sure most of you experience the same. Physically, I don't have an issue because my job doesn't involve physical activity, so my resources have not been spent. But mentally, I'm often very drained. It's normal. As the day goes on, your mental energy is waning, and it'll be harder to focus and think critically. So let's think about those negative comments that we often read. Do they accomplish anything? Are they adding value in any way? Or are you just making yourself feel better by blowing off some steam? I can see how there is a little kick to having gotten it all out. Got your emotions all leveled out and really gave it to the other person. Bam! Some people may argue that they mean well and that critical feedback is good. It helps the maker of the product or service to improve. Well, in my opinion, if you really want to help, then it should reflect in the tone of the comment. And it should be brief, focusing on the facts. It doesn't need to be pages worth of information, pages worth of repeating the same thing over and over again. Even some comments that are short, they're completely useless. The sole purpose is to insult. I just don't get it. Why waste all this valuable time and energy? I'm going to say it bluntly. Don't you have anything better you would want to do with this time and with your limited energy? Why insult and complain people that put themselves out there with something they have created for you, for your joy, for your entertainment? Don't we have tons of choices? We've talked about choices in podcasts prior. So why not move on if it doesn't meet your expectations? So maybe you spent a little bit of money on it. But so what? I'm sure in the long run, it's not going to hurt you if it wasn't a major expense. But writing all this, spending this time on these negative comments, you've lost valuable time that you're never going to get back. And the negative experience already arrived. you can't reverse it by complaining. So I want to highlight 2 important points when it comes to your energy, and really keep those in mind if you can. 1, your energy is a valuable resource. Hopefully, you have a few goals that you want to accomplish. If not, maybe you just have a job you should be focusing on so you can collect a paycheck or maybe work towards that next promotion. Spend your energy on what brings you returns. Spend it on something that grows into something else, that develops. A long, drawn-out review pumps your adrenaline for about an hour or 2, but in 1 month, you have forgotten about it. Wasted time, wasted energy, it didn't get you anywhere. Spend it on something that adds value to your life or to the life of others. And 2, you want to focus on building more positive energy. Criticizing, berating, insulting, those only feed your negative energy even more. It's okay to not like something or not agree with it, but why add fuel to the fire? Especially when, as we've already established, you get nothing out of it. Turn your anger into something positive, something that truly adds value. Be thankful for your choices and the opportunities you have. And remember, the more you feed your negative energy, the more it grows. So you really want to pull back a little bit and feed your positive energy. And this applies to really anything, not just your time that you spend writing reviews or you're just making useless comments on social media. What about the time you get worked up over nothing, arguing and going around and around? Same thing, wasted energy. Instead, focus on resolving the conflict, finding a middle ground. And what about the rage on the road, the frustration when other people do something we don't agree with? Is it all worth the time and energy spent getting exasperated, worked up, and angry? I don't think so. So think today, what's another way you can respond? And I know some of us say, well, next time I just will not get angry anymore. Often, this simple goal doesn't work because you have not really defined what you're going to do differently. See, the opposite of negative is positive. So ask yourself, how can you turn an upsetting situation into a positive one? How can you channel your energy into something useful and productive? How can you respond positively? That's the question you need to ask. Guard your energy. Save it for when you pursue the goal you have established, maybe January 1st or maybe 5 years ago. Create something instead of complaining. Build something instead of destroying what others built. Have courage to go after your dreams instead of your fear, which you use to insult others that have gone after their dreams. Spend your energy on making the world a better place. And I'm going to end with just a little snippet from Seth Godin's website that I regularly read, and you will hear me often quote because he's really good at boiling some very essential facts down to just a few sentences. And it's not poetry, it's just snippets, I call them, things worth thinking about. And this one really wraps it up nicely, what we just talked about. It's titled Winner Take All. Really? Almost nothing in our daily lives is actually a winner-take-all competition. Somewhere there is someone fitter, faster, thinner, quicker, smarter, more popular or richer than you. And there's someone else fitter, faster, thinner, quicker, smarter, more popular and richer than they are. And you're far ahead of someone else who's looking at you from behind. And yet, we see people angry because someone's passing their car or gaining more followers online. They mistakenly believe it's a race. It rarely is. If you can use your situation as fuel to dig in and care more and do better, by all means. But if not, ignore it. Do your work, not theirs. And with that, I wish you a wonderful day. Much love.